You mentioned like sobriety and kind of going towards that. Was there like, I mean, you can sort of get as personal, not as you like, but is there something that, or like something that flicked in your head, like a sort of a light bulb moment where you're like, okay, this is something I want to go towards, or was it like a gradual thing? I get that can be quite personal, so obviously you don't have to go.
No, I've spoken on it many times. It was a lot of light bulbs flickering on and then getting smashed with a hammer with my alcoholism. You know, I had to hit a series of bottoms, like you've probably seen in many reels and inspirational quotes that are pushed through social media every day. But a lot of those things are true. Like I had to go and hit a series of bottoms. I had to lose a lot of options and friends and work. And, you know, I was touring with Korn at the time. And when I hit my last bottom, and just, I had to lose a lot. I had to have what I call the gift of desperation. And that was necessary for me to get it. I don't think it's mandatory, but for me, that's just what pushed me into, I absolutely wanted to quit drinking, knew I had a problem, knew it was wrecking my life, knew my life was unmanageable, but I needed the ass whipping consistently, you know, to submit, you know, to just completely put up the white flag. And then I started figuring out that drinking was only like part of it. I was doing that because of a whole, you know, entire batch of problems mentally, old childhood traumas, a lot of things I had to deal with that were, the drinking was the symptom of my issue. I had to deal with things. So I quit drinking long enough to understand that I needed to work on myself to where I wouldn't put myself in a position to drink to cope with everything. You know, with drinking, I would put a drink in me. It quieted down all the voices. It quieted down all the trauma. I felt whole, you know, when I drank. And it's because I had a hole inside of my soul, my whole, you know, so me quitting drinking was just part of it. And then I actually did some work on myself and, you know, and stayed sober a day at a time still.
What kind of, like, are there any particular tools that you found, not necessarily tools, but like things that you found particularly helped that process, like certain activities or just certain like mindsets or things that you could do to kind of, because I mean, I like to think anything that would work for sobriety would probably work for a lot of different, you know, issues that people are trying to work through. Are there things that kind of helped you can point to?
Yeah. I mean, you know, without naming particular organization, what I went through and the steps that I took and the things that I did, I would recommend to anybody, whether you have a drinking or drug issue or not. It's just about cleaning up your life, making amends to people, trying not to be selfish, trying to go through life, knowing that you're not the center of the universe, controlling your ego, controlling your fear, just basic principle stuff that us as human beings could probably benefit doing, and, you know, not causing that wreckage. I mean, it's to the point where if a piece of trash falls out of my pocket on the ground and I'm walking away, like my mind is like, you have to go pick that up. You can't leave that. And it sounds like a small minute, like, oh, it's just a wrapper. It is that it's those tiny little seeds of deception or inconsideration. If I do that, I'll allow myself to do that. I'll allow myself to start lying to my wife. I'll allow myself to start, you know, stealing this, you know, just all these little things. That's just how my mind works. So I have to do all those little things so it doesn't grow into the old behaviors that my alcoholic self went through. And so, and for a lot of people, it may not be that deep, but it's just, you know, I just want to be a better person. So yeah, the program that I went through and the things that I did were, you know, there's like a series of steps and things you have to do. And then there's accountability. There's people that I talk to on a daily basis that sometimes I don't want to talk to anybody, but I do it because it's not about me. It's about what I need to do and what these other people did to help me get sober. And, help and service work is a huge thing for me. I love to help people, and because when I do that, it ultimately helps me. It makes me feel better. I get out of myself. If you call me and you have a problem, I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about you and what you're going through. And if I'm truly listening to you, it feels good. I put my head down on the pillow knowing I'll listen to other people today, and maybe I said one nice thing that made someone's day better. And it's corny to some of that stuff is, but it's I like to follow that moral code, tolerance and love for everyone. It's hard.